Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Deep True Crime. I'm Manny Rodriguez. In today's episode, we are continuing the coverage of Instagram model Courtney Tailor, who stabbed her boyfriend to death in April of 2022 and claimed self-defense. Authorities almost did let it go as self-defense. But then detectives went even further shortly after. When there were no charges until this 4-month investigation that has now come to the conclusion that she needs to be charged for second-degree murder with a deadly weapon. So as she was in a rehab center in Hawaii, she was taken into custody and charged. On April 3rd of 2022, police responded to a 911 call from Courtney Clenney around 5 p.m. at a luxury apartment building. That is where they found her boyfriend, Christian Obumseli, stabbed once in the shoulder. First responders transported Obumseli to a nearby hospital where he died from his injury. Officers said that the violence was caused by a domestic abuse. And a Miami Police Department spokesperson said, "We know that there was a physical altercation between them before he was stabbed." And mutual friends shared that domestic violence was common in Clenney and Obumseli's relationship. And friends even said that we've seen her hit him. They've never seen him hit her. Doesn't mean it didn't happen, but they've never witnessed it. If she is saying it, maybe there's truth. According to close friends, Obumseli had recently moved to the area and was living with Courtney at the One Paraiso apartment building, which is located in Edgewater neighborhood of Miami, Florida. And neighbors in the building have reported that the couple had a long history of domestic disputes and that local police often had to get involved. And when she was originally detained at the police station in April of 2022 following this stabbing, police say that she threatened to off herself. And police said that the threat had led to an evaluation causing her to be Baker acted. And Florida's Baker Act, that allows law enforcement, as well as doctors, mental health professionals, and judges to commit a person to a mental health treatment center for up to 72 hours if certain violent or suicidal tendencies are displayed. And even though she was detained on April 3rd, there was still content posted to her main social media account. She was on that OF place, and there was content that was posted there on April 4th, even though she was detained on April 3rd. And so she didn't face any charges while police were there and she was being handcuffed. Neighbors actually took video from their balcony after Courtney had stabbed her boyfriend and people had gotten there. And so she was seen covered in blood of the boyfriend that she had just stabbed. And so the social media model, Courtney Clenney, she was seen shivering on the balcony of her Miami apartment while she was being interviewed by the police. And so Courtney Clenney, who is known on the subscription service as Courtney Tailor, stabbed her boyfriend Christian Obumseli in the shoulder after a struggle at their Miami condominium on Sunday, April 3rd. And there was even one neighbor who did share that she alleges Courtney Clenney was abused by Obumseli. And so this is where, because of that neighbor's account, that's why authorities were also saying, okay, maybe this definitely is a case of self-defense. The neighbor who has a direct view of the couple's apartment did say that he witnessed Obumseli strike Clenney about a week before the fatal stabbing. The neighbor said, "I could not tell if it was open-handed or closed-handed, but he was swinging at her." Again, as there was multiple friends who described themselves as close friends, and they alleged that the social media model was the violent one in the rocky relationship. So you're getting two different accounts of this. And so that's when the investigation was opened up even deeper, because the family wanted some answer. And you can see Courtney Clenney teary-eyed in this mugshot after she was arrested at the rehab facility in Hawaii and charged with murdering her boyfriend at their Miami home. And again, she insists that the stabbing was in self-defense. But Hawaii police, they detained her, and now she's going to be extradited back to Florida, where she is being charged with second-degree murder with a deadly weapon. Her attorney says, "We are completely shocked at Courtney's arrest based upon the clear evidence of self-defense in this matter." He says Obumseli attacked her and choked her that evening. Courtney had no choice but to meet force with force. Further, we are disappointed that the state attorney sought an arrest warrant in this matter. And he also says, "I'm completely shocked, especially since we were cooperating with the investigation and offered to voluntarily surrender her if she were charged." And that's according to her lawyer, Frank Prieto. And he says, "We look forward to clearing her name in court." Courtney and Christian Obumseli, they were cryptocurrency traders, and they had been dating less than 2 years, and their relationship, as described by many, was tumultuous. She was arrested for domestic battery in Las Vegas, and police were called to their home in Austin, Texas on several occasions. The couple moved to Miami at the beginning of 2022, and staff and residents at the One Paraiso building where they lived reported multiple domestic disturbance complaints about the couple, and they had even moved to evict them. Her attorney, Frank Prieto, said that on the night of April 3rd, Clenney was forced to stab Obumseli after he grabbed her by the throat. Obumseli's brother, in April, he wasn't buying the self-defense claim. He didn't understand why she had not been charged. He was angered by her not being charged immediately over his death, saying that it was because of her privilege as a wealthy white woman. Clenney, she called 911 and claimed that she acted in self-defense when she stabbed him in the shoulder. But in a statement posted to Instagram, the victim's brother, Jeffrey Obumseli, and his family wrote that they do not believe Clenney and demand that she be charged with killing his brother, who he referred to as Toby, his middle name. And that's why a lot of people were not understanding why she was not charged sooner, because within 24 hours following Toby's death, they pretty much prematurely concluded that this was not a crime of violence, but more a domestic violence, and she was protecting herself. That was April. This is August. A lot has happened over their 4-month investigation. And the victim's brother, Jeffrey, he was kind of blown away when so he shares in an Instagram post about these videos that emerged following this incident that showed her covered in blood, showed her kissing her dogs, and then ordering drinks at the hotel bar where someone spotted her and took a video of her and shared their feelings how she just killed somebody. And he says, "We've seen videos of Courtney kissing her dogs while covered in what we believe to be my brother's blood and casually getting drinks at a hotel bar days later while my brother lays in the morgue." And that's when he was referring to the videos that show Clenney at Miami's Grand Beach Hotel days after her boyfriend's death, which is a picture from that video that you see on your screen right now. Her attorney pushed back against this claim, saying this statement about Courtney casually getting drinks is absolutely false. She was not casually getting a drink at the hotel bar, is what he's basically saying. He says Courtney was sitting at an unattended table in the hotel lobby area that also has a bar. He added that her father was in town and that they were having drinks, then left because a woman was berating them for no reason, according to Frank Prieto, the attorney. And that's his statement. The video did not show her even looking like she's having a good time. She looked pretty darn stressed. So I will say that as well on my impression of the video. And you can see Courtney with her dad at the hotel bar when he was giving his feedback while on video. I don't remember what he said. But as Prieto said, her father was in town and they were having drinks. Obumseli's family from Austin, Texas, they continue to demand answers. At the time of the killing, she was already due in court for a previous DUI, and she was being sued in 2018. Her history includes an arrest on September 16 of 2020 in Austin, Texas, for driving under the influence. And this mugshot from the incident, you can see on here the way she was looking at this very time. That was in 2020. This was 2 years later. She's being arrested. This time it's a lot bigger and harder to get out of. There had to be a lot more on this in doing their investigation. Again, as I mentioned, at first, cops seem to have rushed to judgment that this was self-defense based on some of the accounts by the neighbors inside of the building. And so Obumseli's relatives had initially been told that Clenney had been cleared and would not face any charges. But then the Obumseli attorney said that new witnesses came forward in the case, including a prior boyfriend of Clenney, who claimed she tried to stab him during a fight. That don't look good. And even weeks before this stabbing, while on a podcast, she happened to even share some stuff. She says she only dates rich black guys and doesn't like being controlled. She says, let me clarify, while on a We in Miami podcast, I only date rich black guys. She is quoted saying on that podcast, in my life, I don't like anybody to tell me what to do. And the show host says, so that sounds like you're a control freak in your relationship. She laughs at that comment, and the host says, so you're toxic. And she says, yeah, while she responds while standing, showing off her curvy body. And she tells the podcast host that she limits the type of men she is willing to date. She says, no dope boys, no politicians. And during the podcast, she tells the host that she has over 2 million followers on Instagram and that she pulls down significant money from the OF site. She says, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I'm grateful. That was her comment. And so it's a good thing that the Obumseli's family attorney, Larry Handfield, he pushed for the police to reopen this investigation. He said that, cops visited the couple on at least 4 different occasions for domestic calls. And he noted that Obumseli was never taken into custody or charged. Now, Courtney Clenney, also known as Courtney Tailor, has been charged with the murder and the stabbing death of her estranged boyfriend at their Miami apartment on April 3rd, 2022. She was arrested in Hawaii and is currently awaiting extradition to Florida, where she'll face a second-degree murder charge for killing her 27-year-old boyfriend, Christian Obumseli. Rest in peace, Christian Obumseli. Taken way too soon from this world. A well-known entrepreneur, media face, internet personality, and social media star from Dallas, Texas, popularly known in the country as the owner of the Wiseman and Peachtree LLC. Rest in peace, Christian Obumseli. Well, my friends, now you're caught up on what's going on in the death of Christian Obumseli, taken from this world way too soon. As we continue to hear about this story, I'll continue to share about this story. I'm Manny Rodriguez. Thank you for joining me and have an amazing day. Peace.